as we've discussed previously, it's been quite some time since we've heard activity coming from the Rage Against the Machine camp, aside from that side project that members excluding Zach De La Rocha have been a part of, entitled Prophets of Rage. But other than that, fans longing for that Rage Against the Machine reunion have been completely out of luck, and unfortunately, there just hasn't been much of a prospect of that happening anytime soon either. But there was a very interesting interview involving guitarist Tom Morello, and believe it or not, if there was any holdup from Rage Against the Machine getting back together, it is certainly not coming from Tom Morello, who had some very, very encouraging comments to say about the future of the band. In a new interview with Alternative Press, Morello was asked if he thinks that Rage Against the Machine would be able to happen today, seemingly alluding to the success that the band had in the early 90s, to which he responded, "I think there's never been a time more right for Rage Against the Machine and to have music. I've tried throughout my entire career to make music that is uncompromising both musically and lyrically. That's exactly what Rage Against the Machine did, and if a Rage show ever breaks out, I'd be happy to play guitar. Yeah." He was asked a follow-up question about whether or not he foresees that potentially happening, to which he responded, "There's no movement on that front, sorry to say. While fans lament the fact that Rage Against the Machine doesn't exist, I'd say there's a lot of music out there that speaks to these times, including my Atlas Underground record, but not exclusively. If like you are missing a Rage Against the Machine element in the world, then form a band. What's on your mind? It's your time. Do it. Don't sit around waiting. You're wasting life if you're waiting for some band to emerge from the shadows to save you. It's your time to pick up a guitar or a turntable or whatever, or Ableton or whatever it is, and have your say." Morello was also asked about how he was able to find De La Rocha back then, given the fact that there was no internet, to which he says, "Well, before you would risk by spending money on an album or a CD, and then because you heard one song, you hope the rest of it is okay. Now, it's like water is more expensive than music. We used to do this with demos back then, like you'd be at a show, you'd get a bunch of demos on your drive to the next city, you get everything like the 45-second test, like kick my ass in 45 seconds or this goes out the window. That's basically what music is. You go to Spotify or anything, you listen to 45 seconds. If you like it, you like it. Rather than having sort of a chance to just find out the greatness of something. I didn't have a budget for records. Like, if I bought the record, I was going to listen to that record. I was going to learn whatever I like or not, but now, quote, they didn't capture my attention in the first 17 seconds. So you skip on it and that data goes to some metadata place that tells you it's not a hit. It's kind of crazy." Tom Morello obviously not mincing words here, and he has a very good point about starting your own band, sharing your own message, and being passionate. Don't wait for some other band to be great. You can start the next band and be great. So with that in mind, there are a lot of good bands out there. You've just got to go out of your way to find them. And here occasionally I try to show bands that are new, that are great, that are interesting, that are fun, and most of all make great music. And I want to tell you about my friend Tony's band, Dragged Under. They've got a new song that just came out called Here for War. Tony does the vocals in the band. Tony, tell the viewers comparatively what your band sounds like.
People have compared Dragged Under to bands like Comeback Kid or Refused or Seosin and even Bring Me the Horizon. It's kind of just a mix of fast, high energy, aggressive, in-your-face music.
All right, so here's a little bit of Dragged Under, Here for War.
I found a way to carry on. In the absence of you, I'm standing strong. Now I got a chance to right your wrongs. To me, you're already gone.
That's all for now. Thanks so much for joining us here today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news.